Welcome to the High School Spotlight. I'm your host, Taylor Nettle, and we've got an action-packed episode for you today. Over on the pitch, we catch up with two outstanding girls soccer players who have overcome adversity to keep elevating the excellence of St. Scholastica soccer. And we tell you everything you need to know for the upcoming soccer state championships. Plus, we recap an exciting boys basketball matchup between John Curtis and St. Aug. But first, we take a look back at the 2026 Warrick Dunn Award banquet, introducing you to all three winners, starting with the Warrick Dunn Award winner, Edna Carr's Richard Anderson. Don't go anywhere. The High School Spotlight is just getting started.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
At Breck Golf Courses, we focus on the highest level of play. That means award-winning courses, state-of-the-art practice facilities, unique shot-making opportunities, and tournament-level playing experiences. With 2 championship courses located in the parish, Beaver Creek and Santa Maria courses make the perfect setting to test your golf skills. Find your next hole-in-one with Breck Golf.
Dude, you're looking ice cold.
You look ice cold, bro.
Hey guys, somebody's coming. Somebody's coming.
Let's do it.
There comes a day,
gonna be a day when I'll be the one
you dream.
It's gonna
be me.
Dude, are you crying?
Welcome back. This past Saturday was the annual Warrick Dunn Award banquet, and the 2026 Warrick Dunn Award winner went to Edna Carr defensive lineman Richard Anderson. The LSU commit has been making a big impact on the Cougars' back-to-back state title runs, both on and off the field. We tell you more about Edna Carr's Big Rich. Richard Anderson has grown and changed a lot in comparison to his freshman year.
I remember when Rich first came here in 9th grade, he just looked like a big kid that was scared to talk, a big kid that was scared to interact with people. His voice was real low. He said very few words. And this past year, he was actually one of the team captains as well as our defensive captain.
The senior is a 5-star recruit, and 24/7 Sports ranks him as the #1 defensive lineman in the nation. But off the field, Big Rich is an impactful leader who's been a backbone of the state title-winning Edna Carr team.
No quit attitude, play till the finish. I'm gonna run everybody down. Some big 340-pound people be like, I'm not running way out there. But he's the total opposite, man. He was a tremendous leader, man. I can't say enough about him. Everybody saw what he did on the field, but off the field, he was a awesome leader. And the kids looked up to him. They believed in him. They followed him, which was a big deal for our defense. In games when stuff wasn't going right, or when we made a bad play or whatever. He will always be like, don't worry about it, we straight, we'll get him next time. He was like a big comfort for even our coaches. He made us feel comfortable knowing that we had him out there, we had a shot.
When reflecting on this season, Big Rich explains that all of the success was a part of a bigger mission than just bringing home some new hardware.
This season went as planned, I would say. The season was dedicated to Corey, as y'all seen how we get his mom the trophy at the end of the game. So I think it went as planned. It was like during the summer, spring ball, Corey had passed. So ever since that, everybody been on one page as we doing it for Corey, doing it for C4. So that's what we did.
Corey Adams was a former Edna Carr Cougar that played alongside Big Rich. The Ole Miss freshman was tragically killed in July 2025, and carrying out his legacy has been the purpose fueling Big Rich's passion.
I just was in shock and feel like everything left my body because that was my brother. So like when I found it out and like we came back to practice and stuff, everything was for him. Like that's what I'm playing for. Like sometimes I used to line up at the end of the game. I used to be like, what if Corey was here? Like at the championship, after that game, I was just like, what if he was just here? Like after the game, celebrating with us. So it's just bittersweet moments.
It wasn't just the future LSU Tiger who strived to carry out Corey's legacy. It was the entire team.
D-line room, Corey was a D-line, so it's like everybody just took off what he brought to the table. So everybody just wanted what he brought to the table. So that's how we played every game. Every time we wanted people to fear our D-line.
Being a Warrick Dunn finalist means a lot to Big Rich himself. But it's also special because it honors those players in the trenches that might not get the recognition that they deserve.
Most people don't get it, especially on the D-line. So it'll for me to get the award, it'll mean a lot to the trenches, the D-line, the O-line side of the ball. Like getting that award would mean a lot.
Don't go anywhere. We're just heating up here on the High School Spotlight. Next, we introduce you to another winner from the Warrick Dunn Award Banquet, the 2026 Coach of the Year. We'll be right back.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
Checking back in on the High School Spotlight, we introduced you to the Player of the Year. Now it's time to meet the Coach of the Year. He courageously led Ouachita Parish through adversity and brought the Lions all the way to winning a state title. Our very own Spencer Verrett introduces you to the 2026 Coach of the Year, Ouachita Parish head coach Benji Lewis.
Ouachita Parish head coach Benji Lewis helped deliver the first state championship for the Lions since 1989. The Lions were the first 14 seed in history to win a state title, rebounding after a winless October in district.
No goal worth having anyway is gonna come without roadblocks. At least it doesn't for me. And so those roadblocks, man, a lot of people choose to stop there. They choose to listen to the noise that surrounds it and the negativity that surrounds it, and there was a ton of all that. But for me, it's such a satisfaction that I preach to my kids about my players, about adversity and how to properly cope with that. I need to be the example of that. You know, if I'm not coping well with it, how can I ask my players to? And so I think the satisfaction of knowing that we were able to do this, and not only do it in, almost a perfectly imperfect way, almost as proud of those 4 losses and what they made us as I would be if we were undefeated.
The Lions and Lewis had their doubters throughout this year and years prior, people who thought this staff was not right to lead Ouachita. But Lewis holds no grudges and credits the help of his staff.
You know, my mind's eye thinking if I stand up here and I'm talking about a state championship, would I say, it feels, like karma or like retribution? It doesn't. It feels like satisfaction. It feels like I've always had a goal to be a head coach. I've always had a goal to be a championship winning head coach. Now that I look back, I realize that the goal for me, being an individual goal, I never would have achieved it or met it. I have a tremendous staff full of guys that not only enjoy coaching these young men, but we like being around each other, and I've told them, never forget that.
After the Lions took home the championship 21-20 over Ruston, seniors Wydell Clark Jr., Dylan Berryman, and Montrell Connor Jr. shared what Coach Benji meant to them.
I just want to thank Coach Lewis for telling everybody and the whole team what we don't want to hear. Every time Coach Lewis get to talking, it might not be what we want to hear, but it means something. And I want to just thank him for not giving up on us. It's a lot of stuff we ain't want to hear. There's a lot of stuff he could have did that he didn't do that just kept us going. And look who we at now.
I just want to thank him so much. Without you, without you, we probably wouldn't even be I probably wouldn't even have the stuff that I have right now. You staying on my tail during practice, during workout, especially during workouts. I want to thank him for welcoming me in, and just allowing me to lead. Always telling me like that I have to be the leader, picking me up even when I'm not believing in myself. So I want to say thank him for that.
And the rings the Lions will have a special message engraved on them.
On the inside of our rings, it's going to say, always remember October, because I think in life, these young men are going to have Octobers, and I'm going to have Octobers. And how we cope with those Octobers, so to speak, is how we're going to be as people. And it's always been about that for me.
Ouachita Parish head coach Benji Lewis, LHSA Network Coach of the Year for 2026.
Great stuff, Spencer. We've got one more award to recap from the Warrick Dunn Banquet, the Malin Choo Choo Brooks Award, given to a coach who's an unsung hero. Stay with us.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard. Part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
When looking for college, I wanted somewhere that would push me and allow me to kind of be the person I'd always wanted to be.
Everyone here kind of has this mindset of seeing the next person succeed, and I think that just creates a Southern Miss spirit.
You find what you need out of Southern Miss. What I need isn't what another student needs, but we all find something here.
You don't have to be what people have said you've been. You don't have to be what people think you are. Like, coming to Southern Miss, you can totally reinvent yourself and be who you truly feel like you are meant to be.
Welcome back. The Malin Choo Choo Brooks Award goes to a coach who's an unsung hero within the state. This year's award went to a St. Charles Catholic coach whose impact went beyond the gridiron. Steve Schneider introduces you to John Talley.
Did he miss it? He missed it! Missed it wide!
Millions have seen the miraculous comeback, earning St. Charles Catholic a state championship. But not many have heard about the loss these Comets suffered last year, giving them this glorious celebration in the Superdome, or the man they call Talley.
One of the biggest things he told us was, You take a bad day, you make it a good day, and you take a good day and you make it a great day.
Our kids, I always said, when they came in the 8th grade, he might have been the man on campus that they disliked the most. But by the time they walked out of here, he was the man on campus that they respected the most.
The way he introduced us to us was, I'm the fat guy that you're not going to like at first.
His toughness and his abruptness was actually something that was championed here. It was something that our administration understood. It was something that our parents longed for. Somebody that right is wrong is wrong.
My first day of school at high school, first class period, we had a little assignment and I didn't do it. And just luckily enough, he called on me for the answer. And I told him I didn't do it. He said, did you not understand it or did you not feel like doing it? And I didn't want to get in trouble, so I said, I didn't understand it. So he took me to the front of the class and read the book to me like I was a kindergartner.
Sometimes people change. Coach Talley was the same every single day.
Very forceful personality, so and very memorable. Like they were never going to forget him.
Brown worked with Talley over 3 decades and convinced his friend to come to Laplace where he could finally experience state championship games. But Talley's impact sent the Comets soaring as a strength coach, line coach, and special teams coordinator, even though those 3 roles don't begin to fully explain John Talley's contribution.
Everything mattered, right? There wasn't a day where you just, oh, well, this, we'll just let this slide today. It was never that. Everything mattered, every minute mattered, every day mattered.
Every little minute and everything that happens in a day matters. If you were 15 minutes early or late,
you go to off season, you lost, you don't want to do it, and he's in there yelling at you, making you do it.
If you're in a game and you're feeling like you're about to give out, just keep playing, do your best. You can't give up.
Some would guess they'd give up after Talley's last game with the Comets, finishing 4-7 with this playoff loss to Madison Prep. Yet most believe he's still with them, even though the ultimate loss came later that night. The 61-year-old Talley suffered a fatal heart attack in his sleep.
I'm very upset. I went to bed and my mom woke me up and said there's a team meeting. And I'm like, why do we have a team meeting? We just lost. What could this be about? And I got here and you could just tell with the atmosphere something was wrong. And it was very quiet. And then we got up here. Coach Wayne broke the news to us, and that was very hard for all of us. I was just thinking, like, there's no way. How could this be? Like, how can he have just passed away at such a tragic time so unexpectedly?
He impacted so much here that, when I walk up the stairs, you expect to see him in that chair and talk to him. But there's not a day goes by in this office when the coaches are in here that we're not talking about something. You remember when Talley said this? You remember when this happened?
And what happened this season, everyone will remember forever. With Talley's voice in their heads, the Comets went to work.
You really got to do some soul searching.
Won the top seed in 4A Division II. We're on the doorstep of a trip to the Dome in a semifinal rematch with the U-High team they'd scrimmaged. When the Cubs tied the game and just needed an extra point, it did not happen. The line, the strength, the special teams happened.
U-High has tied the game. Here's the point after. It's blocked! It's blocked!
Talley used to have a saying all the time that, every point matters. Does 1 point matter? He would always ask the kids, will 1 point matter? And they would scream, yeah, it does. And you can tell a lot about a defense by the way they approach the extra point, right? Because you just got scored on. So what is the mindset there? And the mindset is to fight and scratch to make sure you take that point away. And most of the time, when you're doing that, you're not successful. But the key is to keep pushing because they pop up. Those kind of things pop up in the craziest moments.
He was always a person, like, special teams, the biggest part of the whole game. And no matter what, we had to be good at special teams, just as good as we are offense and defense in order to be able to win the game.
It was his heavenly birthday. And then, a player who he coached, who he was hard on, just all of a sudden has a superhuman effort, runs through the guard and blocks the extra point, and so it's hard not to believe that, that intervention and then the way that the state championship ends and that he didn't have a hand in it, and the way that our kids responded when they did get life, when they got an opportunity to close it out, whether it was overtime in the semifinal or to close it out, he coached the kickers. He was hard on Tyler Miliotto, you know, and you know, so he spent a lot of individual time with those two guys that made gigantic plays for us to be champions again. So it'd be hard to convince me otherwise that he didn't have some involvement in our championship run.
When he blocked that extra point, I saw like the old Angels in the outfield. Coach Tyler reached down, grabbing him and dragging him across the line to get it done. Coach Tyler was the gold standard when it comes to it. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. There's black, white, and there's no gray. There's no in between. There's no other way to do something that might be a little bit off kilter. Like everything is always has to be done the correct way.
To myself, I'm like, oh, come on, Tyler, man, don't let it in like this, you know? Don't let it in like this. Not for him. Not for that kid.
I love Tyler. Tyler's, like you said, he's small in stature, but he's big in his mind. If you ask me, 6'2", 220 pounds. He's got that rough and tough attitude. You can't get anything past him. So he's really got that chip on his shoulder. So you know when he missed that extra point, if he had another opportunity, he was going to make it right. And that wasn't going to live with him.
When we got our timeout back because of the situation, and we knew that we were going to have time and one more chance, our kids recognized that and they jumped on it. But winning's a skill, and part of that skill is being able to recognize when you're given an opportunity to take the game.
He just would have loved the way our kids played, the way that we didn't flinch when things went crazy, the consistency of our players to put work in and day out. You say, well, isn't that every year? No, it's not. You know, it's not every year. The leadership that our seniors showed and the lack of issues we had in the locker room, I think he would have loved everything about it. Watch our undersized young men overwhelm people with their effort. I know he had a front seat for it all, and I think there were nights that we would come in and say, man, Tally would have loved that.
He had an infectious smile and laugh. If you got Coach Tally smiling and laughing, the whole room would light up. So that rough and tough exterior would kind of fall apart at that point, and if he got you going, he wasn't going to stop.
There's not a day goes by that I don't think about him. Because of this place and talking about this award right now, he'd probably tell you like, oh, go give that to somebody else. I don't want that, you know. It's kids, give it to the kids. I had people that I didn't really know that he had coached from Sanoma and Lehigh and you know, places like that's all they could talk about.
Before their time together at Dutchtown, Tally had played for Hall of Famer Kenny Guillotte at Woodlawn, later coached there and at Parkview. His wife Lydia, who he met at his first stop at Lee, had witnessed his amazing influence at all those places. But LaPlace?
For a long time, she probably was like, what are you doing driving 45 minutes to this little old school in LaPlace? When there's all of these places that you could coach at, you're not making this big salary. But I think now that he's gone, she understands why he was here. And when she sees the impact that he had on our lives and our kids' lives, she understands why God put him there. I watched him change kids' lives that he don't even know. You know, they came in shy, timid. He turned them into to tough guys that are strong, that look at themselves in a mirror completely different than they saw themselves when they first met him. And that might be his greatest accomplishment, is taking young men who weren't sure about themselves and turning them into somebody that could walk around with their head up and be proud of what they were and who they are.
Yeah, it's just Tally. Just Tally. And we miss him every day. You know, he's with us all the time.
Wonderful story, Steve. We share more about Tally's impact beyond the football field. Hear about his excellence in track and field. Coming up right after the break.
Dude, you're looking ice cold.
You look ice cold, bro.
Guys, somebody's coming. Somebody's coming.
Let's do it.
There comes a day,
Gonna be a day when I'll be the one
you dream.
It's gonna
It's gonna be Ray.
Dude, are you crying?
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
Welcome back. We introduced you to the wonderful coach that John Talley was on the football field, but his impact was powerful in track and field as well. Hear more about Talley and the legacy that he's left behind that led to him receiving the Malin Choo Choo Brooks Award.
Anything that John touches with his personality and his knowledge base and his wisdom, it's going to grow and be the best that it can be.
John Talley had a heavy influence on high school track and field within the state of Louisiana. Throughout his coaching career, he made stops at St. Charles Catholic, Parkview Baptist, Lehigh, Woodlawn, Santa Ma, and Dutchtown, leaving a legacy everywhere that he went.
My time with John, or my interactions with him, I saw that happen. Years ago, Catholic High Baton Rouge, the boys team, was winning state championship after state championship after state championship, and nobody really had any answer to that. But John, when he was at Dutchtown at the time, came out of nowhere and beat Catholic High in the state championship in outdoor track, and kind of ruined their streak that they had going there. And at that point in time, that was thought it couldn't be done. But John found a way to do it. Just remarkably coached up a bunch of athletes that did extremely well.
When I became the head coach, he was my right-hand man. I mean, they brought in these things called computers. By far the smartest guy I've ever been around, and I'm gonna tell you, spreadsheets, Excel stuff, I mean, it was unbelievable.
Talley has coached excellent throwers who were crowned state champions in both shot put and discus.
They weren't sprinters. They might have thrown the javelin, the discus, shot put. That's basically it. And they all placed high or won every year. And that's because Talley coached the little bitty things in track.
He's just got a way that he relates to the kids. They trust him. They trust what he says. They know he's a good coach, so if John says jump, they all say how high, right? So, it's tough to have that relationship with the students to where they know that you're the best coach out there, and he's also one of those guys, so they trust him.
Talley's precision and dedication to the sport was undeniable. He played an integral part in helping put on the track and field state championships. He's remembered as the man who could do it all.
Just like all sports have their ambassadors, for them, John Talley was certainly an ambassador for the state of track and field in Louisiana for sure. But also he was just an integral part of our state championship event. Everybody knows that John's the one checking in those events, making sure that they're legitimate, and if they're not, he'll help the teams get it right, or work with another school to be able to borrow and implement. It's a loss for the sport, it's a loss for our state championship, and you've got those people that you just can't ever replace. You can try, right, and you can do the best you can, but it's almost like he is one of those individuals that does the work of five. And so to replace his talent base, his skill set, and his knowledge, you need a lot larger group to do it.
Talley was one of those guys that just, he figured out a way to do things, and the best compliment I could say he gave me when I was the head coach, and he came to me and he says, I want this, this, and this for the weight room. I said, go get it. Never turned him down, never. The guy worked way too hard to be turned down, I'm just telling you.
The Louisiana Track and Field Coaches Association awarded Talley with the 2024 Tom Nolan Distinguished Coach Award, and in 2012, he received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the LTFCA. He traveled across America, sharing his wisdom of throws to hundreds of young coaches, and his impact within the football, powerlifting, and track and field world is long-lasting. His legacy will be remembered in multiple sports nationwide.
His ability to take a program, and not just track and field, but anything that he touches, anything that he coaches, and just make it, if not better, one of the best in the state. It's an incredible trait that he had.
Coming up, the soccer state championships are right around the corner, and we've got all you need to know. Stay with us on the High School Spotlight.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
At Breck Golf Courses, we focus on the highest level of play. That means award-winning courses, state-of-the-art practice facilities, unique shot-making opportunities, and tournament-level playing experiences. With 2 championship courses located in the parish, Beaver Creek and Santa Maria courses make the perfect setting to test your golf skills. Find your next hole-in-one with Breck Golf.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Welcome back into the High School Spotlight. Joining me on the desk today, LHSAA Assistant Executive Director Michael Federico. Michael, thank you so much for joining me today.
Glad to be here.
You oversee the soccer state championships, which are coming up in just a few weeks. Take me through all the logistics with that event. Who, what, when, where?
So it will be taking place again at Southeastern University in Hammond, February 25th through the 28th. Games on all 4 days start at 5 o'clock. Girls first, boys hopefully at 7:30 if everything goes well. One price gets you in, all-day ticket. Looking forward to a great event this year again.
So you're number 7 in Strawberry Stadium. Take me through what that venue has helped bring this together and all the hands that go into putting on this event.
It is. It's a great partnership between Southeastern and Tangi Tourism, as well as being a centrally located place for the schools that truly compete in soccer. It really helps create a bigger crowd when we have those schools that are closer to Hammond that can make their way there.
Speaking of Tangi Tourism, that's just week 1 of that 2-week stretch of 2 state championships in Hammond with girls basketball following the week after. What is it like to have that kind of a relationship with the city?
Oh, it's essential. It's crucial. If you don't have an army of people behind you that are helping you within the city and within the community put on 10 days of state championship competition, you wouldn't succeed at all. So it's a great partnership to have with them.
How have you seen this state championship grow throughout the years?
Oh, just from the support of the fans and the community. It just, you see it in our attendance numbers each year over year, growing or at least staying consistent to where we are. And that's a testament to, like I said, the partnership that we have with them as well as our member schools that make it each year.
How can fans and friends and family get tickets for this event?
So fans can log on to Southeastern's ticketing website and purchase tickets directly through the university. There's also a link on our soccer page at www.lhsaa.org, and they can buy tickets directly through there.
Awesome. Michael, thank you so much for joining me today. We'll be right back here on the High School Spotlight. Don't go anywhere.
When looking for college, I wanted somewhere that would push me and allow me to kind of be the person I'd always wanted to be.
Everyone here kind of has this mindset of seeing the next person succeed, and I think that just creates a Southern Miss spirit.
You find what you need out of Southern Miss. What I need isn't what another student needs, but we all find something here.
You don't have to be what people have said you've been. You don't have to be what people think you are. Like, coming to Southern Miss, you can totally reinvent yourself and be who you truly feel like you are meant to be.
Dude, you're looking ice cold.
You look ice cold, bro.
Guys, somebody's coming. Somebody's coming.
Let's do it.
There comes a day
When I'll be the one
you dream.
it's gonna
It's gonna be Ray.
Dude, are you crying?
Checking back in on the high school spotlight, a big-time Division I select boys basketball matchup happened last night between two teams within the top 3 of their division power ratings. Spencer Verrett has more on John Curtis versus St. Aug boys hoops.
John Curtis and St. Augustine playing out a Catholic League thriller in front of an overflowing crowd. The Patriots come into this one atop the Division I select power rankings, while the defending champs St. Augustine come into it at number 3. Here are the highlights. Marlon Johnson steps out and hits a 3 to help propel the Patriots to an early lead. Then it's Johnny Walker again from 3, then Curtis taking control of the perimeter. But Purple Knights center Javaris Brazito finds Percy Thompson under the basket for an easy finish. And after the first quarter, it's John Curtis 14, St. Aug 13. Second quarter, Patriots come out hot. Xavion Shepard picks up the rebound off the miss for the easy layup. Then it's Walker again, driving the paint, and picks up the and one, enjoying the large student section behind the goal. And the barrage continuing with Midnight Martin then hitting a triple for the Patriots. At the half, Curtis leads 26-17. And in the second half, despite some St. Aug fightbacks, Torrey Walker Jr. hits a triple to extend out the lead for the Patriots again. John Curtis holds off St. Augustine 45-38 to place themselves atop the Catholic League. Here's Patriots head coach Biko Paris after the game.
I mean, it's unbelievable, man. I think that for these guys, for these kids, both teams, to play in front of a crowd like this, to have an atmosphere where, huge shout out, man, to our parents. They've been tailgating since 3:30. The lines are back to Jefferson Highway to get into the gym. It's kind of what high school basketball should be about. So my whole thing, even when I took over this job 3 years ago, I told Coach Johnny and Coach JT that I was going to do this, that I was going to have this place packed out. Shout out to our student section for coming in. We got a beautiful gym, and the guys work their tails off, man, so they deserve everything they have coming.
Johnny Walker, huge for the Patriots tonight with 11 points and plenty of defensive rebounds. Coach Paris excited about what he brings to this team.
Just sticking to our principles, not trying to force shots up, just sticking to our game and coming together.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big-time player, and I tell these guys, man, I don't know who's going to get the points every night. We share the ball, we move it, we give up good shots for great shots. We find the mismatches and we trying to exploit them. And a lot of times Johnny has a mismatch just because, I play him at the forward spot, so big men guard him. But he's able to take those guys out on the perimeter and kind of go by him a little bit, use his skill set. And if you get a smaller guy on him, he can post him up, he can offensive rebound, he can do some different things. So he's a matchup problem.
Super special team, with a lot of special players. We have a special group, and we're coming together and we're working it out, and it's perfect time to do it.
And 8th grader Torrey Walker Jr. with 9 points, including a couple trays off the bench for the Patriots. A huge moment for the young star who could be a name to watch for years to come.
I mean, he was for an 8th grader to kind of step up like that and make those timely shots, big rebounds, big steals. It just speaks to the type of player and the future that he has here with us. He's played in front of bright lights before. No stage is too bright for him. He thinks he can take and make any shot. Even though he's an 8th grader, the upperclassmen and those guys believe in him. But to his credit, he put the work in.
That feeling is a feeling that you can't describe. Like, you come through for your brothers. It's just the best feeling. Hitting those shots, making my team go up by a bigger lead. It's just a great feeling.
Reporting from River Ridge for the LHSA Network, I'm Spencer Verrett.
Coming up, we tell you the story of two girls soccer players who have overcome adversity and are big playmakers for St. Scholastica. We'll be right back.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
Welcome back to the High School Spotlight. Last week, we told you about the girls soccer powerhouse, St. Scholastica. The Doves are coming off of winning back-to-back state titles, but the two MVPs of those state championships went through injuries that kept them off the soccer field. I've got the story on those two talented Doves who have overcome adversity and are ready to bring home state title number 3 in a row. Bree Stanton has been starting for SSA soccer since her sophomore year. That season, she helped lead the Doves to winning the 2024 Division I state title and also was named the most outstanding player. But shortly after that monumental moment, adversity struck.
I went on to play Louisiana Elite on a TDP team with Libba, and we went to showcases, and we had a showcase in North Carolina where I tore my knee. And, it's obviously extremely humbling to go through something like that, but I definitely came out a way better player.
Sidelined with an ACL tear for the entirety of her junior year, the forward knew that she still needed to contribute to this team, even if it wasn't on the field.
I came to every practice. I still tried to contribute myself any way I could, and then saw them win state, which was great. I was so proud of them. But I think any injury is something that changes a person and a player.
Reese's parents played an integral part in keeping her mentally resilient through the injury.
My mom was my safety net through everything. It was my mom. She was kind of the person that I leaned on, that when I had nobody else, I knew I had her. She understood me. My dad actually tore his ACL in high school too, so I had him to talk to. Played football for Rummel in high school, so I got to talk to my dad about different stuff, mentality and everything, but most of it's pretty much you. I spent a lot of my time watching film and seeing what I could fix based off of what I was watching and focusing on my mental state and getting better. And yes, it was extremely hard. The mental aspect of tearing your ACL, especially going from that high to such a low, was really hard, but I didn't and I'm proud of myself for that I didn't let that stop me from getting better really quickly and getting back as soon as possible.
I felt it and I saw her, just her body language when she was not playing last year, just wanting to be out there. At times, you can see that, she wanted to shed some tears, but just keeping them involved and just making them understand that, no matter that you're not on the field, you're still a huge part of the group.
Reese was determined to not let her injury get in the way of the college recruiting process. So when a coach from the University of Alabama at Birmingham reached out, she knew that she should take the opportunity.
And I was still hurt, but I said I might not be as fast, but I do want to come and see the program. And he said, all right, come. I want you to come. I just want to come meet you and all this. So I literally went that first time, and I was like, I want to go here. Like, you can ask anybody from the second I came back. I had a huge smile on my face, and I was like, I'm going to get better, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to go here. And my mom was like, okay. And so I ended up going to another ID camp there, but this time I was like good to go. This was like later on in my recovery. I think I was like a year and almost 2 years out, and I ended up doing really well at that ID camp, and I went on a visit, and then now I'm committed and signed, and I couldn't be happier.
Now that the senior is back on the field and committed to her dream school, the adversity that she went through taught her a lot.
Soccer to me, I've always told everybody, is so much more than a sport. Like, I live it. I live the sport. I go to practice. I want to go to practice. I want to play. Like, everything about it. Like, I could just stay out here and just, like, do whatever. Like, it's so safe to me. And even through my injury, yes, this field was something that was traumatic, but I was like, but this is like my home. Like, this is where I grew up. This is how I know myself. I did find my identity through soccer a lot, and I struggled with that through recovery, but coming out of it, I'm like, yes, I'm way more than just a soccer player. I definitely think about what a privilege it is to play soccer now, and just what I've done for myself, like committing and signing with my dream school, and the things that I have accomplished despite my injury was really, really important to me, and not letting that determine the outcome of my soccer career.
Reese wasn't the only SSA Dove to go from MVP to being sidelined with an injury. Last year's most outstanding player from the state title game, 8th grader Caroline Todd, had a similar narrative happen when she tore her meniscus just a few months after winning state.
It was kind of like a reality check, because you go from such a high and you're like, it just happened so quickly, and you go to a low. And it kind of makes you realize how much you love the sport, and it made me realize that, how much I love playing soccer.
Just like Reese, Caroline knew that she needed to contribute just as much from the sidelines.
It's a lot of support for my team, and helping them and supporting from the sidelines.
Luckily, Caroline was cleared to practice and returned to the field just in time for the postseason.
I am so ready. I've never been more ready to just play a game, and I'm so excited.
She doesn't know it yet, but she's coming out of this injury way better than she went in. The technique is still there. Her technique is still there. Her want is still there, and she's the type of player that is extremely strong on the field and extremely strong in her head mentally. So obviously, I know she's gonna get through it. I'm 100% here for her. She knows I am.
Since Caroline came back from the first day when I announced that Caroline is cleared to practice. It was like it was like we won a game. Everyone was, we were actually in this same spot right here talking, and everyone was celebrating and being loud. And she's not even playing, and she's bringing that, that comfort level, that confidence to the team. So.
Make sure to tune in to our next episode of the High School Spotlight as we continue to give you exclusive coverage of high school winter sports around the boot. We'll see you next Wednesday right here on the High School Spotlight. Thanks for watching.